Hello everyone. If you like what I'm doing here, please consider subscribing, liking, and commenting. It would really help the channel out quite a bit. Thank you very much.
The CBS Radio Mystery Theater presents... Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall with another story of the macabre. A particular kind of tale that delves into the strange and bizarre secrets of those who would prefer to keep them hidden. When they're brought to light, their revelation may bring insight into even those closest to us. How much is concealed? Why does a neighbor pace back and forth in his small yard evening after evening? And what is the reason that a retired doctor will leave any gathering and wash his hands repeatedly? And why, specifically, has an old man begun to have delusions? His daughter-in-law, Maria Smith, wants to know.
Henry? Can you hear me, Henry?
Yes. Yes, I can hear you. But a shadow hangs above me. I can't lift it, Maria. It hangs there and settles down on me. And it will kill me.
A shadow?
Yes, a black, smoky shadow. And it's smothering me to death.
Our mystery story, Last Judgment, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by Roy Windsor and stars Norman Rose and Carmen Matthews. It is sponsored in part by True Value Hardware Stores and Buick Motor Division. I'll be back shortly with Act One.
The standard engine is a V8. Standard tires, steel-belted radials. There are front and rear stabilizer bars, special springs and shock valving, fast ratio power steering, and a rally steering wheel. What makes all this interesting is that it belongs to a full-size, six-passenger Buick, the 1977 LeSabre Sport Coupe. You'll have to drive it to believe it.
You dirty rat. You dirty rat. Nobody does Cagney like Cagney. And now James Cagney tells his whole story in Cagney by Cagney. The gangster roles.
All right, you guys.
The song and dance parts.
Yankee Doodle went to town.
The stars.
Here's looking at you, kid.
They're all here in Cagney by Cagney. A tough, touching, witty, wisecracking autobiography. The inside dope on the street kid who grew up to be a star. Now in pocketbooks. Cagney by Cagney.
Get it wherever paperbacks are sold.
The deadline for displaying City of Chicago vehicle stickers and 1977 license plates is extended to March 1st. Now, don't stand in long lines in the cold. Just go to one of the over 600 currency exchanges in your neighborhood. They're open long hours, 6 days a week, and you get immediate over-the-counter license plate service and fast delivery of city stickers with no waiting, no hassling. Time is growing short. Get instant license plate service and fast city sticker delivery at your nearby Currency Exchange Community Service Center.
There's a Currency Exchange Community Service Center close, close, close to you. What do? We cash check for you. What do? We write money order too. What do? Just listen. We make life easier for you.
That's what we do.
Well, there's a Currency Exchange Community Service Center close, close, close to you.
Take advantage.
Food stamps, too.
We're about to begin a strange journey into a land as remote as an undiscovered star. The mind. And what a mind stores up in its subconscious are dreams, memories, and experiences that leave impressions which cannot be erased. Our lives are affected by every experience. The character of an adult can be deduced from its many stages of growth. But what stage explains delusion? That's what worries Adele Smith about her husband.
Come in, Maria, come in. Let me take your coat and your bag. Oh, dear, I'm so nervous. I don't know what I'm doing.
Adele, calm down and tell me how he is. Is there any change?
If anything, he's worse. Please sit down. I don't know what to make of it. Neither does your brother.
Have you thought of calling in another doctor? Jan wouldn't object.
Well, he suggested it, but Jan's a fine doctor, and Henry refuses to see anyone else. No, Jan is doing everything any doctor can. It's such a pity. Henry's only 65, with all the future to enjoy. Why should he be struck down, a good man like that?
Jan told me it's paranoia.
I don't even know what that means, or a persecution complex, but I really don't understand that. Why should he feel persecuted? He's retired, we're rich, we love Providence, and our house here on the hill near the university.
I know.
What does it mean, Maria? You were a nurse.
That's how I met your son.
And thank goodness you did. You're a wonderful couple. Oh, if only Leo were here. You know how attached Henry is to him.
He'll return next Sunday. He phoned last night from Munich.
Oh. Well, it's very considerate of you to move in with me. Henry won't consider a regular nurse.
Does he stay in his bedroom?
No. He comes down for lunch, and he takes a walk in the afternoon. He's thinner. But to see him when he's up, you'd think nothing serious was the matter with him. It's night that he fears. He tries to fall asleep. I've sat up with him, but he can't. He half sits up. His eyes are glazed, and he babbles. It's frightening.
And it's always the same fear?
Yes, night after night. He knows he's going to be killed, he says over and over. Please, please, don't kill me. I don't want to die. Oh, he's wasting away, Maria. I don't want to lose him.
Neither do Leo and I. Now stop imagining the worst.
He says it's a judgment. A judgment. A judgment about what?
Who knows, Adele? Something rooted deep in his subconscious. A psychiatrist?
Don't mention the word. Oh, I agree with you, so does Jan, but Henry won't see one.
Well, it's just after 9 o'clock. I'll go up to him. Do you want me in the back room?
Yes. I'll carry up your bag.
You will do nothing of the sort. You're to relax. I don't want you for a patient, too.
Well, I am worn out. Worry does that.
Well, try not to. Leave that to me.
I wish I could, but I have this lost feeling that Henry will never recover.
Henry?
Maria, my dear.
I've come to stay a few days. Leo's in Europe.
Yes, I know. Poor Adele.
And you, Henry?
Yes, me.
This insomnia of
It is
yours.
not insomnia, you know that. Jan must have told you. It's true, I can't sleep. I suppose that is insomnia. That's what the word means, but it's more than that. I fall asleep, but then I wake up frightened and trembling.
Because of anxiety. You dream.
Yes, dreams can be pleasant. Mine are nightmares.
And they become delusions. Can you remember them, Henry?
No. Well, some persons remember their dreams. Adele always has. She's told them to me. Crazy dreams, wild adventures. I've never been able to do that. Oh, poor Adele, having to put up with a crazy old man. It's hopeless.
Because someone is going to kill you? Because it's a judgment?
Adele told you that? I said that in my sleep. But it's true enough.
Henry, when you're awake, do you try to explain why those thoughts come out of your subconscious in your sleep?
When I'm awake, I don't remember them.
Are you being honest with yourself? And with me?
Maria, I cannot face the truth, awake or asleep.
Then you do know why you're being persecuted.
No.
It's something deeply rooted in your subconscious. Henry, unless you bring it to the surface and face it, it will seriously affect your health.
I do not know what it is.
Someone you were afraid of when you were a boy, maybe. Think back.
Oh, there was a boy named... I don't remember. He was a bully. Oh, yes, I can remember him.
He threatened you?
He threatened everybody.
And in your nightmares, he chases you, catches up with you, and then what?
I escape.
Until the next night?
Yes.
Is he still alive?
I don't know, Maria. Please, I don't know.
But you're still afraid of him. Don't you ever face the bully and beat him up? That often happens in dreams. In a dream, you sometimes overcome an enemy. Have you had that kind of dream, Henry?
Yes, once, yes.
Dream about overcoming an enemy, about conquest and triumph? Is that so?
Yes. And then I wake up terrified.
Oh, Henry.
Maria, I'm exhausted. Go away, please.
You have been a good man, Henry.
No. I am like all other men. Only worse.
Well, Maria?
Jan is with him now. I don't know. Adele, where do you keep your photograph album?
Well, what a strange question. On the bottom shelf of the bookcase. Why?
Just a thought. Has Henry ever told you about a boyhood bully who threatened him repeatedly?
No. Is that what he dreams about?
Perhaps. It would be a Spanish boy, I imagine.
An Argentinian. Henry was born in Buenos Aires.
When did he come to the United States?
Well, let me think. 1943, the year we were married, in New York. Leo was born a year later.
So Henry was 33.
Yes, we moved to Providence 3 years later. He started Smith Imports. My father offered to help, but Henry had enough money of his own, and as you know, the company's been very successful. I don't understand your interest in this ancient history, Maria.
Has Henry ever taken you on a trip to Buenos Aires?
No. He no longer has family there.
Why is that?
He's never talked much about it. When I ask, Henry says, "That's a closed chapter, Adele." I respect his silence.
That's more than I would do.
There are some things that are better concealed, Maria.
Then you do suspect a secret in Henry's background?
Yes. I don't want to know. Our lives have been good.
Oh, Adele. You're an ostrich. But you are a dear.
Thank you. Oh, here's Jan.
He's asleep. I'll sit for a minute. It's beyond my competence, ladies.
You're a splendid doctor, Jan.
Thank you. But by competence, I mean my specialty. Henry won't see a psychiatrist, but I'm going to consult with one. He can't go on like this indefinitely. When did all this begin? Can you remember his first sleepless night?
It was a few weeks ago, before our son Leo was to leave for Europe.
Leo's made such business trips before. Is there a connection between this trip and Henry's sudden paranoia? Have Leo and Henry quarreled? Has Leo found out something in the past history of the company?
No, Jan, nothing like that.
I'm just grasping for an explanation.
I think it's to be found in South America, Jan. Adele knows very little about Henry until he emigrated to the United States in 1943, the year they were married. Henry's 65.
33 years about which we know nothing.
And I'd rather not know. I'm afraid of what you might find.
Well, I'm not. Henry, since I've known him, is the model of a good man. I'd be very surprised if he had a lurid past. Well, I'll come by tomorrow. Good night, Adele.
Good night, and thank you.
I'll see you to the door, Jan.
My regards home, Jan.
Thank you. Well, Maria?
I think you're wrong, Jan.
I have been before, my dear sister. You might do some probing into Henry Leo.
No, that's not where the mystery is hidden.
Then where is it?
Ask yourself this, Jan. Who is Henry Smith? Really? And why, at the age of 32, did he leave Buenos Aires and come to the United States? Is it possible that he had to leave?
Jan thinks what?
The onset of your delusions, Henry, began a few weeks before Leo left for Europe.
It did? I mean, did they?
Well, that's what Adele remembers. Does this fear of yours have anything to do with Leo?
Oh, no. No, he's a good son. Leo has nothing to do with any...
Will you tell Leo what possesses you, Henry?
Leo?
You won't tell Jan, you won't tell me. Will you tell Leo the truth?
No, never.
He's your son. No one is closer to you than Leo.
No.
I'll bring you a sedative.
It won't do any good.
It will help you fall asleep.
No, Maria, I'm afraid to sleep. That's when it creeps over me like a black fog. And in it I see those terrible things.
And they're in Buenos Aires, aren't they?
What do you know about Buenos Aires?
I know that your deep anxiety comes from there, from something that happened there that drove you to the United States.
You know something.
God knows.
What?
God knows, Henry. You have no choice but to pray to God. Whatever you did.
No, I cannot pray. Prayer sticks in my throat.
Then you know what can happen.
Something will snap, and I become mad. I want to die. Then you'll be at peace. All of you.
So, there is stage one of our journey into a troubled mind. It is the mind that controls our actions. You've heard the expression, what's his frame of mind? Depending on what it may be, you approach a person in different ways. And the frame of mind is the result of what has happened to that person. More insight into the mind of Henry Smith when I return soon with Act 2.
Here in my hand is a little capsule. It's Contact. It contains enough cold medicine to help relieve cold symptoms caused by every known virus. Think about that the next time you're sick. Sneezing, dripping, all clogged up. Then let us help you with real medicine, like Contact. We're #1 in the whole world.
Give your cold to Contact. Real medicine for real cold.
Take only as directed.
This is Arnold Palmer. Prevention of birth defects is the goal of the March of Dimes, and it's my goal, too. I work actively for the March of Dimes because I believe that every child should have good health at birth. If I can help spare just one baby the tragedy that some birth defects may bring to him, then my work will be worthwhile. Please, put your money to work for the protection of our future generations, the unborn, the newborn, and give to the March of Dimes.
Since 1866, Colby's has meant fine quality home furnishings. And right now, during their store-wide winter sale, they're offering all their beautiful furniture to you at substantial savings of from 10 to 20%. Until February 28th, you can save on the elegant style of furniture that you love, whether it's the classic, gracious look of traditional, the boldly dramatic look of modern, or the timeless and fashionable look of the Orient. All their beautiful furniture is on sale. Living room, dining room, bedroom and den furniture, lamps, rugs, carpets, accessories, sofa sleepers, bedding, and custom draperies, wall coverings, and bedspreads. So come to Colby's during their store-wide winter sale and save. When it's unmistakable quality at unmistakable savings, it's from Colby's, Chicago, Oak Brook, and Northbrook.
Everything to live for, and by that we mean good health and security. Given both, who could be unhappy? Well, it's the former that isn't an absolute. If you have security, you don't have to worry about paying your bills. But good health is a different matter. You have it, then something can happen, and you don't. Something has happened to a man's mind, and Henry Smith, otherwise well, has suddenly become paranoid and is deeply troubled by his dreams.
Henry?
Into the street. Everyone into the street. Come down from your houses and into the street. There's one running for the canals. Shoot him! Shoot them! Enemies of the people, you cannot escape!
Henry!
Come out or we will kill you! If you obey, you have nothing to fear. You cannot hold out against us. Your country has fallen. Save your lives. Come down. Trust me. 3, 8, more. Drop your guns. Now, in the name of freedom. My God. My God.
Henry?
You.
Here, wipe your face. You're covered with perspiration.
Oh, thank you. Oh, how terrible. The guilt, Maria. The guilt.
You ordered some resistors out of a house and promised them they'd live. And then ordered your men to shoot them.
I don't know.
That's what you said.
In a dream, I don't know what I said.
You can't remember any part of the dream? The house near the canals, the resistors, and the murders?
Maria, when was that?
Were you an officer? Where? And who were the resistors? And where were the canals?
Oh, please, Maria, my head is throbbing and I cannot think.
Did this happen in Buenos Aires?
I don't know. Buenos Aires? Why Buenos Aires?
You came from there in 1943. Were you a guerrilla fighter for Perón?
Yes, that must be it.
You must know.
Yes.
And the resistors were the anti-Peronistas?
Enemies of the people. Liberals, communists.
And the canal?
Yes, the canals.
The canal in Buenos Aires, lined with houses?
Oh, yes, many canals where the porteños lived, port dwellers, enemies of Perón.
And you gave the order to have the resistors killed?
Yes, it was my duty.
But your conscience sees it another way, doesn't it? You still see those innocent people in your mind's eye.
Yes. Night after night, they won't go away. But I only obeyed orders.
And this persecution complex of yours came on you just before Leo went abroad.
Leo? Oh, Leo must never know what I did. He would be repelled.
Leo isn't in Buenos Aires. He's in Europe. Why should his trip have triggered this recurring nightmare?
Maria, I can never be forgiven for what I did.
Hello, Maria. Has anything happened?
Come in, Jen.
Has there been a change?
Take off your coat. I have to talk with you.
Is Henry asleep?
I don't think so.
You're being very mysterious, Maria.
Henry talked in his sleep. I questioned him. It seems that he was a soldier in charge of a massacre of many innocent resistors.
So that explains his paranoia. Guilt. I'm glad you found out.
But I don't believe what he told me, Jan. Buenos Aires is not a city of canals. It has canals, but it's a port city. I looked it up. It's on the Rio de la Plata. The city is 175 miles from the Atlantic Ocean. The river was dredged all that way, so Buenos Aires is a seaport.
What's your point?
Question him, Jan. Ask about the canals.
What am I to try to find out?
The truth.
Don't be mysterious.
If Henry Smith was a soldier who led troops in committing an atrocity, where was he? Was it Buenos Aires? That's not a city of canals.
I don't like it.
Neither do I.
Oh, Jan, what brings you here?
Canals.
What? Canals?
Maria's told me about your nightmare and about the talk you had.
Yes, I think it did me good.
When you told her about killing those anti-Peronistas, you said that Buenos Aires was a city of canals. That's not true, Henry. What city did you have in mind?
Well, in a dream, Jan, things get mixed up.
Well, yes, I understand that. You were a soldier. Where, Henry?
Argentina.
And that city of canals? Hardly Buenos Aires.
What difference does it make?
Venice is a city of canals, and so is Amsterdam. Have you been in Venice, Henry?
Oh, yes. Many times.
So, your impressions of Venice with its many canals, you superimposed it all on this one dreadful experience you had as a soldier. As a captain of...
As a lieutenant, yes. Yes, that must be it, Jan.
Mm-hmm. And your memory is so vivid that the atrocity committed by you keeps recurring in your dreams. Was it an atrocity, Henry?
We killed defenseless people.
In war?
Guerrilla war.
Another city of canals, Henry, is Amsterdam. Have you ever been there?
No. No, never.
Well, I won't keep you any longer. Maybe tonight you'll be able to have a good sleep.
I killed innocent people. That was beyond my duty.
Till the world comes to an end, the ultimate decision will rest with the sword. You know who said that, Henry?
Oh, Kaiser Wilhelm II of Germany.
Henry never mentioned to you, Adele, that he was in military service?
No.
And there are no pictures of him as a young man in your family album. What about a wedding picture? I've never seen one in the house, but do you have one?
Well, why would you want to see it?
I can think of one reason. Identification.
Henry? What are you suggesting?
We don't know who Henry Smith really is, do we? Do you, Adele?
I never heard anything so presumptuous. I'm surprised at both of you. He's my husband. I've been married to him for over 30 years, and you want to identify...
Well, let me tell you why, Adele. For reasons known only to him, Henry has cut all of us off from whatever he was, whatever he did, before 1943. The psychiatrist I consulted said that it was of the greatest importance to reconstruct Henry's boyhood, his youth.
Adele, do you have a picture?
It'll take me a few minutes to find it. I do have one. Excuse me. What will you do with the picture, Jan?
Conduct a search for Henry's identity.
Oh, how?
Well, you leave that to me. I assure you that it will be done with discretion.
Where is Maria? Has she gone to bed?
No. She's in the library writing a list of some things she wants me to get.
All this has been a shock to me, Jan.
Of course, and to me.
All those years. To think that Henry may be carrying some horrible secret.
Well, we'll soon have it out in the open, and when we do, he will be free of whatever it is that is causing his condition. Ah, here's Maria.
Was that the picture? Oh, my. What a handsome young man Henry was. And you, Adele, a beautiful bride.
It makes me feel uneasy giving you the picture for the purpose of identifying Henry. It's a kind of betrayal. I don't like it. If Henry knew what I'm doing...
He need never know. Trust me. Yes, he was a handsome man. Tall, erect, sure of himself.
Henry Smith. That, too, is strange.
Why do you say that, Maria?
I wonder if he's always been Henry Smith.
Good heavens. Why do you wonder about that?
An Argentinian? Is Smith a common South American name? Jan, this is the list. Can you get these things for me?
I suppose so. You know what you're doing.
Yes.
And your purpose.
I must know the truth.
What if the truth is what you suspect?
He will have to face it.
What do you intend to do with these things? Remember, Maria, Henry is my patient. I also happen to be very fond of him.
Can he ever be cured if he doesn't face the truth about himself?
Cure or kill? Which?
I don't care. Either one.
Have you thought about the consequences? There's Leo, Adele. You could destroy them.
What about me? How can I live with this vile suspicion?
It's so very long ago, Maria. Nothing can change what happened then. Leave the old man alone. He's slipping rapidly into insanity. What satisfaction can we get from exposing him to himself?
You may forgive. I can't.
I will never forgive. But I've tried to forget. Think of Adele. Think of your husband.
And you think of the thousands of innocents that Henry Smith and others like him destroyed without conscience.
The past is ever present, and man is the sum of his experiences. Each of us has committed deeds of which we may be ashamed. That's part of the struggle for survival. War is another matter. It's the unleashing of wild hatred, and it's the innocent who suffer. It is conscience that gnaws away at the very soul of Henry Smith. When I return with Act 3, we'll learn why.
Just because you're the handyman at your house doesn't mean you have to do every job by hand. Hi, Pat Summerall here to tell you that True Value Hardware stores offer skilled power tools that work hard, so you don't have to. Like the 6.5-inch circular saw, an essential tool for many do-it-yourself projects. It comes with a combination blade and wrench, and it's double insulated for electrical safety. Yet it's just $29.97. Another skilled power tool from True Value Hardware stores is the half-horsepower router and router table. The skill router makes fine furniture joints, dados, dovetails, and rabbets. It cuts fancy edging on plaques and tables, trims veneer, and features depth adjustment and built-in spindle lock to simplify bit changing for just $34.77. The sturdy router table has a miter gauge for safe cutting at any angle for just $11.77. See the complete selection of skill power tools at participating True Value Hardware stores. True Value, more than just a name, it's their way of doing business.
WBBM Chicago. Take the advice of True Value Hardware stores and you may end up using only half as many light bulbs as you did last year. They suggest you start using General Electric Soft White Plus bulbs, the bulbs that can save you time and money. Soft White Plus bulbs have an exclusive power coil filament that's stronger than regular filaments, so they'll last twice as long as the standard Soft White bulbs. That means you'll replace bulbs less often and spend less money. And GE Soft White Plus bulbs offer softer, more flattering light, which is easier on your eyes. Cut down the replacement of light bulbs this year and save time and money. Get General Electric Soft White Plus bulbs in 60, 75, and 100 watt sizes. You'll find a complete selection of GE light bulbs at your participating True Value Hardware store.
True Value Hardware is more than just a name. It's a way of doing business that means True Value.
In ancient times, the poet Ovid wrote that only the mind cannot be sent into exile. That storehouse is a sum of a person's life. A sane mind in a healthy body is the ideal. But it is the sane mind that is the more important partner in well-being. A serious mental disturbance can make a healthy body deteriorate. Witness Henry Smith, so disturbed by conscience that his life is slipping away.
Maria, help me, please.
All right.
Maria.
All right.
Maria, look. In heaven's name, look.
I see it. Now sit down, and calm yourself.
I can't stand it. The torture is driving me mad.
You had the same nightmare, Henry?
The people coming down from the houses along the canals. My soldiers, the order to shoot innocent people.
And you woke up and found this on your night table. And you know what it is?
Yes. Yes, it is an icon of St. Hedwig. Yes, but how did it get here?
You know who Saint Hedwig was?
Destroyed. Everything destroyed.
Hedwig is the saint of Warsaw. Is that what you dreamed of, Henry? Warsaw?
Maria, don't torture
And the
me.
canals in your nightmares, are they in Amsterdam?
Please, I have suffered enough.
Remember 1939. Hitler had annexed Austria and destroyed Czechoslovakia. He decided to annex Danzig.
No.
The Poles resisted. Then he attacked Warsaw.
Stop it,
I won't
stop it.
stop. In that hideous attack on Warsaw, my parents were destroyed.
Oh.
So were thousands and thousands of other innocent people. My uncle and aunt escaped, taking Jan and me with them. Jan was 2 and I was only 6 months old. How they escaped with us and with one of their own children, I don't know. Now, they won't talk about those days, but I will.
Please, Maria, have pity on me.
I have no feeling for you except unforgiving hatred.
Leo! Oh, I'm so happy to see you home.
How is he, Mama?
Now he'll be all right.
I know it's early. I'm sorry to get you out of bed.
No. You're the tonic all of us need.
Well, can I go up to him? I've been very worried.
He's worried all of us. I don't know if he's awake. If he's sleeping, don't disturb him. Oh, the poor man is exhausted. Maria has been wonderful.
I can't understand. What could have happened?
Neither can we. But Maria spent a lot of time with him. It's something in his past, Leo. Some obsession.
Oh, is Maria still asleep?
In the back room. Now let her sleep. I'll make you some breakfast. Did you have a good flight?
Oh, very good. Landed in Boston ahead of time, made a quick connection to Providence.
Was it a successful trip?
Very. I negotiated a new association in Munich and one in Warsaw.
Well,
I wanted to spend some more time in Amsterdam, but this news about Papa...
Yes. Well, I'm happy you're home, Leo. Your father won't tell us what's troubling him, but he'll tell you. Jan said that only if he brings his problem out into the open will he clear his mind and recover. Whatever it is, he'll tell his son.
She is a fiend, Leo.
Maria?
Yes, she is driving me crazy with her questions. My mind will snap.
But hasn't she been taking care of you, sitting up with you, listening to you?
Spying on me. Oh, you don't know, Leo. You see, I have this nightmare and I talk in my sleep. She questions me and she questions me. How can I answer questions about what I dream?
Well, that's the only way to find out what it is that obsesses you. A psychiatrist.
No.
What are you afraid of? Something you did in South America?
Go away. You are as bad as Maria.
Tell me what it is, Papa. Please?
Leo, I don't know what it is. It just eats away at me.
What? Leo?
What a wonderful surprise. He arrived an hour ago, had some breakfast, and went up to see Henry. I told him to let you sleep. You look very pale, Maria.
I didn't sleep very well. I'm afraid I haven't helped much.
Henry says you have. After all, you found out about him leading those guerrillas for Perón. That's getting at the truth.
It was a step in that direction.
And wondering about the name Smith. Has Jan discovered Henry's real identity? Not that he'll be ever anything more than Henry Smith to me, but, well, I'm curious.
Dell, I'll see about staying a few more days. I'll speak to Leo and let him decide.
You can ask him right now. How did you find your father, Leo?
Not too good, Mama. Oh, Maria, darling.
Oh, Leo. How I wish I'd gone with you this time.
There'll be other trips. Maria, I want to hear everything that's happened since you moved in with Mama.
Let me heat up the coffee. I'll take a tray up to Henry. Maria, you sit and talk.
Papa called you a fiend. Are you? I think of you as my beautiful, intelligent wife. I love you more every day. Can you tell me I'm as crazy as my father?
Oh, Leo.
What is it, darling? What have you found out? You've found out that my father's been concealing a crime for over 30 years.
Yes.
Can it stay concealed?
Not if you want your father to stay sane.
That bad?
He's paranoid and there's no help for him.
Oh, God. Does my mother know?
She thinks your reappearance will work a cure. On the contrary, seeing you again is the worst thing that could have happened.
Maria, what do you mean by that?
It makes his sense of persecution more intense. The one person he wants to hide his guilt from is you.
No. The icon. And now, these. She knows. She's a witch. Teuflisch. Ich fühle mich sehr krank. Who's there? You. I will kill you, Maria.
No, you won't, Herr Schmidt. You're a very sick man, Heinrich. We're getting to the truth, aren't we?
Where did the photographs come from? Where?
From out of your mind.
You know, I can feel these pictures. I have them in my hands.
You were a very handsome officer in Hitler's secret police, weren't you, Captain Schmidt? And there are the armbands with the swastika on them. You were proud of them, weren't you?
I obeyed orders. I was a soldier.
You were an assassin. You reduced Warsaw to rubble. You swept through the Netherlands.
No, I only did
And then you escaped like others, slipped into South America, leaving your destruction behind you, forcing people like me, Maria Walensky, and my brother Jan, to find refuge in the United States. What drove you here, Heinrich Schmidt?
Maria, don't persecute me.
You have lived a hideous lie. You've always had that recurring nightmare, but it never became acute before. Leo's trip to Munich brought that about, didn't it?
It was in Munich that I was promoted to be captain. And... Maria, I am very sick. I think I'm going to die. God, have mercy on my soul.
It's over, Leo. I'm very sorry.
Maybe it's better this way, Jan. Do you know the truth?
I only know that he died from a cerebral hemorrhage.
That's not what I'm asking. Why?
He had such an overwhelming sense of guilt. If he had not died, he would have gone mad.
Guilt for what?
Something in his past. Something hidden from us. I don't think that it would be wise to speculate.
I've got to find out.
I'd advise against it. Let the past be dead. There's nothing to be gained by raking up what happened to your father years ago.
But you suspect something, don't you? Jan, I'm going to stay here for a while. He was a wonderful father to me. I don't know what he did to cause his collapse and his death. But I forgive him. He was a good man.
We killed him, you know that.
He should have died.
He was a man we should not have tried to help. In trying, we exposed information that will affect our lives deeply. Leo and Adele must never know.
All of Providence is going to know that Henry Smith was Captain Heinrich Schmidt.
No, Maria.
They sacked Warsaw. They murdered our parents. They sent millions to the gas chambers. And you would protect him?
Smith is dead.
Schmidt.
Are Adele and Leo guilty of anything? Would you bring their lives down, and yours, too?
I have an obligation to the millions of dead.
To what end? You cannot bring the innocent dead to life. The Holocaust will be a scar on civilization forever. I'm glad that Henry Smith is dead, but I want his secret to be buried with him. I'm thinking of Adele, a sweet, helpless woman, of you and your marriage, of Leo, who's a decent man. Keep our secret, Maria.
I don't know what to do. I can't live a lie.
It's not your lie, my dear. And it's not Leo's.
But I'll look at Leo and know he's the son of a man who helped destroy Warsaw and our parents.
Look at Leo as the man you love. He would be more horrified than you if he learned the truth. The burden of guilt could pass from his father to him. Don't do it, Maria. For your sake and for his.
Maria, I want to know the truth. You're ashamed of something for my sake, aren't you?
Leo, it's all past.
What? What about this?
Oh, good Lord. Where did you find that?
In the drawer on the table next to my father's bed. Armbands with the swastika.
I see.
Is it true, Maria?
I can't answer that.
It is true. What happens to us,
Leo,
Maria?
I love you. That's all I know. I love you.
The shame.
The shame isn't yours.
But my father...
He's dead. And let what he once was die with him. You have nothing to be guilty about. Don't let this destroy us, Leo.
Oh, Maria, if you still can love me as I love you...
I do. I do.
Then we can let this awful memory go with him to the grave.
And so our journey through a man's mind has come to an end for us and for Henry Smith. That little inner voice that some of us claim to hear is a troublesome thing and should be heeded. If it isn't, believe me, it is not stilled. It will come back sometime to haunt you in your dreams. But what about Maria, Leo, and the others? More when I return shortly.
The 1977 Buick Regal. It comes with Buick's terrific V6 engine. It carries 6 people and lots of Buick comfort. It's lean. It's maneuverable in city traffic. It's the most luxurious mid-sized car Buick builds. Yeah, this new Regal is pretty much everything a car should be, except for one thing. It isn't yours yet, but it can be. Just see your Buick dealer for a test drive soon.
Just about everyone.
A group of corrupt political leaders unleashes a sinister plot that threatens the American people. Only one man can stop it, and he must race against time to uncover the frightening significance of the R document. This is the story behind Irving Wallace's newest and most shocking novel, The R Document, filled with political intrigue, pulse-pounding suspense, and drama as real as today's headlines. The R Document is Irving Wallace at his storytelling best. The R Document, a Bantam book where paperbacks are sold.
Maria did not make public her discovery that her father-in-law had been a member of Hitler's secret police. Leo knew, but Maria's love for him overcame his sense of guilt. Adele never learned the truth, and the doctor, Jan, dismissed the scandal from his mind. I don't know if they went on to live happily ever after. I doubt it. Murder leaves an indelible stain. Our cast included Carmen Matthews, Teri Keane, Norman Rose, Nat Polen, and Michael Wager. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown. And now, a preview of our next tale.
I must be with you, for your sake as well as mine.
Son, please.
Just give me this one last chance. Now look, now, before the water is dry, Can you see?
Come to me, save me. Come to me, save me.
I don't. It's not possible, but there is a face. And such a face.
You saw?
I saw.
Then may I go with you?
Yes, son. You may go.
Thanks, Papa.
The question that haunts me is, will you come back?
Radio Mystery Theater was sponsored in part by Contact, the 12-hour cold capsule. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams.
Would you like to know the secrets of growing plants or how to grow things like a pineapple or make an indoor window box? Well, now through March the 12th, you can learn all about plants from the plant lady, Ginny Beatty, in Northwest Federal's Fun with Plants program. You can get a different collection of free fun plant ideas every 2 weeks. Just stop by any Northwest Federal Savings Center and pick up the idea pages that interest you free. Collect all of them for a nifty set of 50 plant ideas to keep you growing for years. Some of the ideas are creative, others take you back to the basics of care and feeding, and they're all free. Pick up the current set of fun plant ideas at any Northwest Federal location. And if you deposit $50, you can collect your plant ideas in a colorful, handsome bookshelf binder for only $1. So get growing today. It's Northwest Federal Savings Time, 63 hours a week.
It's Northwest Federal Savings Time, 63 hours a week.
CBS News. A Liberian tanker with 28 million gallons of crude oil has sunk in the Pacific. This is Doug Polen reporting on the CBS radio network. The tanker began leaking oil Wednesday about 300 miles west of Honolulu. Later, there was an explosion and fire. One crewman was killed, but the other 38 men aboard were rescued. The tanker then went down. The Coast Guard says much of the oil will be burned up by the fire. Officials say ocean currents are sending the remaining slick away from land, and there's no threat to land masses right now. This is the latest in a rash of oil tanker disasters in recent months. Congress is now holding hearings on how to make the owners of the vessels more responsible. One witness, insurance industry spokesman Leslie Cheek, says insurance costs could become staggering.
Right now, the industry has a tough time insuring the people that it has been insuring for some while and covering the exposures that it's used to. What the oil pollution liability legislation does is to, in effect, create a whole new realm of liabilities and a whole new realm of financial responsibility requirements that the industry is not used to and does not have the capacity to underwrite at this time.
Cheek is vice president of the American Insurance Association. More news in a moment.
If your child throws away the lunch you send to school each day, send wonder, kids eat it up. If he fiddles with the middle, then throws the bread away, send wonder, kids eat it up.
Kids know what bread they want to eat. Wonder. There are cheaper breads, but they're not always as fresh and soft the way kids like bread.
When you send a lunch to school, make this the daily rule, send wonder, kids eat it up.
If you suffer occasional attacks of bronchial asthma, listen closely while I take my next breath. That's how fast Bronchaid Mist gets to your lungs, as fast as your next breath. As fast as your next breath, Bronchaid Mist gets to where you need it. In seconds, you're breathing easier. Nothing you can buy works faster than Bronchaid Mist. It gets to your lungs as fast as your next breath. Bronchaid Mist. Use only as directed.
For the second time in 2 weeks, toxic carbon tetrachloride has been spilled into the Kanawha River in West Virginia. State officials say 6,000 pounds of carbon tet seeped into the river from the FMC Corporation's chemical plant at South Charleston. People living in Huntington below the plant are being advised to boil their drinking water as a precaution. Tuna fishermen say the government is making it too hard for them to do their job, and they're threatening to sail home in single file with their flags at half-mast. A report from Adrian Alpert of CBS affiliate KSDO in San Diego.
A Commerce Department decision permitting tuna fishermen to kill no more than 50,000 porpoises this year in connection with fishing operations has sent the fleet steaming home in protest over the ruling. The National Marine Fisheries Service says the setting of a limit would allow resumption of fishing in early April if there are no further court delays. But a spokesman for the American Tuna Boat Association in San Diego says this is the last straw, and an association member is planning a meeting next week with the Commerce Secretary to facilitate possible transfer or sale of the fleet's 100 tuna boats to foreign flags. Association spokesman Mike Zalesi charges the government with forcing the industry out of business.
If it is made known, through the administration that, we can live without a U.S. tuna fleet, well, then the vessels will leave.
The decision also says government observers will be placed on the larger boats to make sure they comply with the regulations. Right now, it looks doubtful if those observers will be needed. Adrian Alpert for CBS News, San Diego.
The Canadian government Thursday night expelled a visiting Russian scientist after he allegedly tried to buy classified Canadian documents from another scientist. The Soviet scientist, who is a specialist in physics, was placed aboard a Soviet airliner that left Montreal. Now this.
Are you an unpublished author? Do you have a book-length manuscript ready or almost ready for publication? Or do you know of anyone else who is an unpublished author? If so, note this toll-free number, 800-821-7700. You're invited to telephone Vantage Press, a leading New York subsidy publisher, for a free illustrated brochure titled To the Author in Search of a Publisher. Just call this toll-free number, 800-821-7700. This brochure explains how you may have your manuscript printed and published in a matter of months. The number is 800-821-7700. Whether your subject is fiction, nonfiction, poetry, or even scientific, specialized or controversial, this 52-page brochure shows you how to arrange for prompt publication. To get your copy, dial 800, then 821-7700. The phone call is free. If this is your first book, you'll find this free brochure especially valuable and informative. Dial 800, then 821-7700.
President Carter tonight made an unscheduled appearance at a party in Washington honoring Senate Democratic leader Robert Byrd of West Virginia. A number of key members of Congress also attended the affair held at a Washington hotel. The president told the lawmakers to prepare for an important announcement on Friday that may be about Robert Strauss. CBS News has learned that Strauss, a former Democratic national chairman, will be named to the post of Special Trade Representative. The position carries cabinet rank and the title of ambassador. This is Doug Poling, CBS News.
News Radio 78, WBBM, Chicago.
Good evening, everyone. Back in Chicago on News Radio 78. Tonight's weather outlook, cloudy, windy, and colder, with a low in the upper 20s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, windy, and continued cold, with a high in the upper 30s. Friday night's low in Chicago in the mid-20s, then up in the upper 30s on Saturday, under partly sunny skies. Light freezing drizzle is falling in east-central Iowa, and light snow and some snow flurries are falling in southeastern Wisconsin, southwest Michigan, and north-central Indiana. But most of the snow activities moved out of the Chicago area tonight. 35 degrees at Midway Airport, 35 at O'Hare Field, 36 at the lakefront. The humidity's 56%, wind southwest 22 miles an hour, and the wind chill index is 10. Chicagoland Dodge Boys times 11:33. If you're talking price, the Dodge Boys are talking your language. See Highland McClary Dodge at 14500 South Cicero in Midlothian for their price on a new 77 Dodge car or truck. Police believe they've solved a brutal double murder that occurred Tuesday on the city's south side. Joe Cummings reports.
Chicago police have charged two West Side men with murdering Benjamin and Mary Cantrell, managers of the Prairie Shores apartment complex at 3001 King Drive. Sergeant John Fitzgerald of the Wentworth Homicide Unit tells how the case was solved.
It was through good efforts of the investigators of our unit in cooperation with the FBI who gave an assist in this case.
The suspects are 17-year-old Billy Lightning and his 22-year-old uncle, Curtis Zachary.
They're two in custody being charged with the murder. They're being charged with felony murder, and armed robbery.
Sergeant Fitzgerald declined to say what material evidence was recovered by police. This is Joe Cummings.
The members of the Chicago Teachers Union will take a strike vote on March 31st if the school board doesn't change its plans to close school 3 days early. Frank Renard has the story.
CTU President Robert Healy says his members are angry over the proposed early closing of schools, and they want the school board to change its mind on that possibility. In an overwhelming vote, members of the union's House of Delegates authorized their leaders to conduct a strike vote on March 31st if the board hasn't changed its position by March 24th. And Healy says if a strike vote is taken and a strike is approved, it will begin in the first week of April.
What we are attempting to do during the month of March is to get this reversed without a strike, because nobody wants a strike. That was our whole purpose in working without a contract last September. Many people forget that. It was our whole purpose in not taking a raise. So nobody wants to strike. However, if we can't resolve it, we are going to go to the membership because we feel that we have to protect the concept of the integrity of an agreement.
Until March 24th, Healy says, the union leaders will be doing all they can to convince the board to recant. But if it doesn't happen, the teachers will have to decide just how strongly they feel about the issues. This is Frank Renard.
Healy will be meeting with Mayor Bilandic on Monday to discuss possible ways of preventing a strike. For over 20 years, Arco American has been saying that most people pay far too much for auto insurance. Now, a survey published by the Chicago Tribune proves this claim by Arco American that you may save up to 75% in auto insurance premiums. And the Sun-Times feature Money Matters says finding a good policy at the lowest possible price won't happen by accident. You've got to shop for it. Arco American agrees and has the time and knowledge to shop for you. Every day, qualified buyers receive fantastic savings. Call ES94677 for your free phone quotation. The savings may add up to hundreds of dollars for you. Call ES94677. Most insurance plans are available with a low down payment and easy monthly installments. Arco, that's AARCO American, open weekdays to 8 p.m. Shop and save money with Arco American. Call ES94677. There's fast city sticker and instant license plate service at your nearby Currency Exchange Community Service Center. The Board of the Independent Voters of Illinois has endorsed State Senator Harold Washington in the Democratic mayoral primary. The board's action was an official endorsement, which followed Sunday's vote by the IVI membership to support Washington. The IVI will lend its precinct workers and campaign specialists to the Washington campaign. Democratic regulars will be keeping close tabs on Roman Puczynski's campaign for mayor, as Bob Crawford reports.
Meeting behind closed doors, party regulars voted to station a representative in the home ward of Mayor Bilandic's chief opponent, Alderman Roman Puczynski, to protect Bilandic's interests in the primary campaign. Some viewed the decision as first-stage retaliation, an attempt to start undercutting Puczynski's clout as ward committeeman. Puczynski himself wouldn't go that far, but he noted that the move was inconsistent.
They did not do it when Vito Marzullo bolted the party in 1972 and supported Hanrahan and carried his ward for Hanrahan, and they didn't do this in 1974 when Edward Doliak bolted the party and ran against Tom Tully.
Party Chairman George Dunn described the decision as an above-board move to simply drum up support for Bilandic in an otherwise pro-Puczynski ward. This is Bob Crawford.
The county board has approved a $187 million budget for the fiscal year that begins in July. About three-fourths of the money will go to law enforcement agencies, and most of the rest of the money will pay for management and support services. No new taxes are included in this budget, but the board did approve an increase in the tax levy for the County Hospital Commission. County Board President George Dunn says the higher levy amounts to a 10% increase.
The only property increase today was the Hospital Governing Commission, where they authorized 2 cents of an increase over last year, which is a 10% increase in our levy. That's 2 cents for $100 of assessed valuation.
County Board approved a $170 million budget for the Hospital Commission. Hospital officials had asked for a $184 million budget. The State Legislative Investigating Commission says state departments charged with overseeing long-term nursing care homes in Illinois have helped in abuses and problems. The commission was charged by the General Assembly to investigate Lake County nursing homes. It also has been ordered to investigate nursing homes elsewhere in the state. The report says conditions and practices exist in Lake County which shock the human conscience. But it added that the facilities in general provide adequate patient care. The director of the Illinois Association for Retarded Citizens says he hopes the commission's findings will spark renewed interest in providing quality care for persons who are housed in nursing homes. Don Moss says the problem is nationwide.
The recent U.S. Senate Subcommittee on Long-Term Care has issued a report that is quite frightening, in that the neglect and abuse is widespread throughout the nation. Not to mention actual fraudulent activities on the part of nursing and sheltered care home operators, and I think it's reached a critical point now, particularly when money is scarce, not only statewide but nationwide in terms of human services, that we've got to crack down on not only the fraud that's involved, but the negligence in patient care.
The State Department of Registration has revoked the licenses of 3 nursing home owners who had earlier pleaded guilty to Medicare fraud charges. The 3 owners are Norman Ruttenberg, Don Lipman, and Samuel Weintraub. They had been joint owners of 5 Chicago-area nursing homes. They had pleaded guilty to charges of accepting bribes from pharmacies who provided drugs to the nursing home patients. It's 11:41 now. Shopping with the best retail merchants in your community is a real snap when you regularly read your own local Southtown Economist community newspaper. Chicagoland South and South Suburban Economist newspaper readers have known this for 70 years and still do. You'll find many valuable ads in the Economist newspapers for food, drugs, family wear, banking, automobiles, homes, rentals, entertainment, in fact, almost everything. When you live in a local Economist Group newspaper territory, reading it makes you a better neighbor and a better buyer of every local service. To place an ad, call 586-8800. That's the Economist Group classified ad number, 586-8800. The Economist Group newspapers.
That was a good dinner. Your food's always good on these Lufthansa flights, Ellen.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
I couldn't help overhearing. Is that why you fly Lufthansa?
Well, I like food. Yeah, I suppose so.
There are many other reasons.
Oh?
Did you know that Lufthansa flies to 10 cities in Germany? That's more than any other airline.
No, it's interesting.
And Lufthansa has an excellent on-time record.
Good.
It's all done by computer at Lufthansa's Center of Operations in Frankfurt. But I must be boring you. Excuse me. I seem to have gotten a bit carried away.
No. May I ask you something? You seem to know an awful lot about how things are run in this. What do you do for Lufthansa?
Everything I can. I am the Red Baron of Lufthansa German Airlines.
Yeah, I thought you had a deep voice for a stewardess. No offense. I mean, you got nice legs, though, for a baron.
Fly with the Baron. He knows how to travel.
It's about time somebody wrote a book called Slow Fade to Black. This is a long overdue history of the black actor in American movies from 1900 to 1942. Written by Thomas Cripps and published by Oxford as a paperback, the book traces, as you might expect, the history of the roles of blacks in significant movies in 4 decades. Willie Best, Hattie McDaniel, Bessie Smith, and all the others are covered. The book is quite scholarly, with detailed notes and footnotes. A bit too scholarly, I thought. It reads more like a film student's textbook than a general audience work, and that appears to be its real intention. Still, it covers the gradual changes in attitudes in movies and the struggle for actors who happen to be black. Their struggle was to achieve some sort of dignity on screen. Of course, 1942 by no means was the end of the prejudice and the awful stereotyped roles black actors were forced to assume simply to get employment. Movies today occasionally still forget themselves and, intentionally or by accident, occasionally revert back to those sad times in the way they cast black actors. But Slow Fade to Black is a useful book, for it records in amazing detail another time and another world, so to speak, in the movie business. I'm Jeffrey Lyons.